Hello, this is Irma. I wanted to share a couple projects that I'm working on. Um, so I've been working on this one for a while, sporadically, not every day. And I have this lined paper to cover the photo. There's a few other photos inside that I have to cover up because one, she doesn't know I'm making this, and I don't want her picture to be on the internet because I don't have permission. So she probably wouldn't like that, but she's going to be getting married. It's my sister-in-law's daughter, Mike's brother's daughter. And so I just kind of wanted to show you what I'm doing. I am making a wedding junk journal for her. And so she doesn't know I'm making it. And my sister-in-law is supposed to be texting me some other pictures of her when she was a little girl. And I have some. My mother-in-law's been cleaning out some of her stuff. So, like, I have this piece of jewelry that's Peggy's, and I'm gonna put some different beads on here. Or I might get a little locket and put a picture of Peggy and Madison on there, and maybe put it on the junk journal somewhere. But I just kind of wanted to show you what I'm doing. Right now I don't have it sewn together, and right now it's in 3 stacks because of the pages I'm adding. I don't know where I want them, and I'm sewing lace to the edge of each page that's going to go in the book, and then I will sew all the layers together, if that makes sense. I got the idea from Ruby and Pearl is her channel name, I believe, and it was one of the junk journals that Angie had sent her. And Angie does not have a channel, and she is not on social media, but she makes the most amazing junk journals. They are just breathtakingly beautiful, and they're just so neat. But anyways, I got my idea from one of hers, so I just kind of wanted to show you what I'm doing. You guys are probably upside down, I'm not sure. Okay, so I have it in 3 stacks. This is the first stack because this is going to be on top, and then this is the next stack, and then this is the other stack. And I'm gonna be adding more pages, but I wanted to show you now before I put in the other photos and mementos, because Peggy gave me a lot of stuff, pictures and stuff, you know, that were from Jeff and Robin, the kids when they were babies. And and I wanted to add that to this. And then I'm going to add pictures of her future husbands, some of his photos of his family. So anyways, but it's going to kind of be a flip through, but all you're going to see are the pages, the papers that I'm using, and then some of the lace that I'm adding, and I will eventually sew all these layers of lace together. So like, this is the first page, and their wedding invitation, I used some brads, and her colors are sage, and I don't know what other colors, but her main color is going to be sage. So That's why I put the sage trim on here, and then this little tab with the little heart key on there. And then I attached it with brads to the doily. So that's going to be like the first page. So then it opens up. It'll be sewn down. So it'll open up that way. And this was also part of their invitation. And then I added the sage, it's like tissue paper. And then I will glue photos to, and then this is a pocket. I made a little pocket and maybe put a, I don't know, something special. And then she can add to it and put stuff from the wedding on there. And then, like I said, I may glue a photo or leave it blank so she could do something with it. You know, she can write things if she wants to from the wedding, or save a note and, you know, put it in this pocket. And that's the first layer. And like I said, I will probably add more to that. So of course it'll be attached like that and sewn in there. So then this is, these are the pages. And like I said, I will, as you can see, I sewed that to this fabric. I took some of this here, this trim, and I stained it with, I don't know, I used a marker, a color marker, and I put it in a bottle. The marker's still in there from a felt, what is that called? A magic marker. And I pulled it out of the, you can get them at the thrift store or buy them at the dollar store. So obviously this is green, and I mixed the green and then this, what I use in that, I used this Distress Ink Walnut with the water, and I mixed both these colors to get the sage green. And I bought this strip. I think I got a yard or 2 yards, and I got it off of Etsy, and I also stained it with that same color, because it's typically this color. So I thought that turned out pretty good. Okay, so then I will add stuff to these pages. And I made a belly band, so she can put something in there, or I will. And then, like I said, these are all sewn onto edges of lace and fabric. And I've never made a junk journal like this. And then this is a pocket. I've never tried making a junk journal like this. So I was like just kind of winging it. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna do it? And then I thought, well, I'm just gonna do it to the fabric, sew it to the fabric, the pages. And then this is the third, it would be the third signature. And then these are from, what's her name, Amity Bloom, from one of her digitals on Etsy. And this is a pocket. And I got this from Amy at Mama's Gathering, Big Mama's Gathering, when we had that, when we went to Kansas. And I printed some of them on parchment paper, so those came out really neat. I just love those. This is the parchment paper also. And then I made a pocket there. And then I covered up their photos because, like I said, they don't know I'm doing it and I don't have their permission. And these are just little pockets, which she can stick something in there from the wedding. And then I did little tucks here with some of their photos. And then these are pockets here. And then this is just the napkin that I got from Big Mama at the gathering. And I put it on to old music pages from the hymnal. So that is what I am working on. And I have till October to get it done, so I'm not in a big hurry. So, and then I will, I'm thinking when I stitch all the layers together, I will stitch it and then add some sage colored beads on there. Okay, that's one project. And then I have more papers here that, you know, I'll add to it. Coffee stained papers that I made. So anyways, and then the other project I was working on was my junk journal for the gathering. Big Mama took us to, it was called the Rusty Nail, and it was like a consignment flea market. It was so nice. They had the neatest things there. I ought to grab a couple things that I got there and show you guys, but this was probably something that went on to the arm of a chair, and it was already quilted, and I thought it's absolutely the perfect size for a junk journal. And of course I used the cereal box, and I cut a slit in this quilted thing, whatever it is, and I stuck the cardboard in it from the cereal box, and then I just glued different pieces of fabric on there. And then of course I taught myself to, I don't know what you call that, but to stitch letterings. And then this was the first one I made, and it says gather with a little flower. So this had some rips where it was ripping at the seams, some of the seams. So I just glued down some doilies, and there's the doily here, this piece here. Kat gave me this fabric, and then I can't remember where I got everything from, but I made a pocket. And then I'm gonna have several signatures, and I'm gonna put in the signatures that we made at the gathering. And all the ladies, we decorated, we all had junk journals or just papers where we had each of the ladies that were there decorate a page. Where is mine? I have mine around here somewhere. So, and then I have my papers from last year that I never did anything with it, and I'm gonna, those will be the first signature, and then the second signature will be this year's, and then I'm possibly planning on going next year. And so I will just keep adding signatures. And this is gonna be the closure. I need to sew this. It's glued, but I'm gonna sew it. And see, like right here there was a hole, so I put that on there, and I'm going to put some more things on the back like I did here. So I put this little knob here so that I can either, it depends how thick it gets, so I can either close it there or close it through this one here. but I would really like to have it like this, but that's going to be impossible because it's going to be a gator mouth. It's going to, I can always add to this doily if it gets really big. So that is my plan with that. So I just kind of have that stitched in like that for now, so it's not flopping everywhere. And that is what I've been playing with so far. And this is just a piece of napkin that I glued onto the fabric. It needed a flower there. So let me grab a couple things I got at the gathering to show you guys. These were a few of the things that I got at the Rusty Nail. And this is a little drawer from a sewing machine. And I just bought a little pink glass knob that I'm gonna put on the front of this. So, and it had the threads in there, so I paid $5 for that. And then I bought these 2 trays there. I'm gonna put, when we get a house and I set up my craft room, I'm gonna put these on the wall, I believe. So, and they're plastic, little plastic trays. I just love the little chicks, they're so cute. And then I got this box. I don't know what it is. Maybe it had records in it. I think I had to have maybe spilt something on there because I don't remember that being there when I bought it. And I'm gonna glue that and then maybe string it with something so that it stays together. And then this is what it looks like on the inside. And I think I got this for $8. It was probably regular $12.99 because there was another one like it. And it was probably for $8 because of the broken handle. So, anyways, the elephant is so cute. I think I must have spilled water on there. And then I need to glue that down right there. So that's just 3 things that I got there. We got so many things. We had a good time. But I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.